Hey guys, Dr. Dare here again on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, and there's some things that I wanted to go over today. No tables today, no patients or volunteers, just straight up curing disc degenerative disease or disc disease or degeneration, curing it today, okay? And so I want to start off by saying this is one of the biggest things that patients bring up to me, and when they show me their MRIs or x-rays and they're like, hey, yo, I have degeneration, that's what's causing my pain. You know, after I listen to the patient's story, oftentimes I've found that they've been led down the wrong path. And so I wanted to explore some of those common misnomers that I've experienced in the clinic, as well as what the research is showing. And so I'll share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start off with some just straight up knowledge, okay? So one, degenerative disc disease, all of the stuff that you see behind me is essentially interchangeable. The good news is everybody has it, and why that's good is because not everybody has pain, right? And we see that in the clinic as well in the literature. And so this is an amazing study in JAMA, which is one of the most respected research journals out there. And essentially they looked at the association between lumbar spine x-rays and the changes related to pain and disability over time. So, right, you would think that the more changes you have, the more pain and disability you'll have, right? Changes as in like x-ray changes. So signs of arthritis, degenerative disc disease, loss of disc height, all of this stuff, okay? So we'll come to the results, but I want to start off by saying low back pain is the most common orthopedic condition why people seek primary care physicians. And the little tidbits here is that current guidelines, so guidelines are really smart people sit down, they look at the best research and they say, this is kind of what you should do when people walk in with low back pain. All right, so what should we do? Where should we start? Well, guidelines often do not recommend routine diagnostic imaging, except when patients present with severe progressive neurological deficits or signs indicative of serious or specific underlying condition, fracture, cancer, and all of those things can be kind of sorted through with just talking with them. So tidbit there, why do people have so many x-rays when they go into orthos? But, you know, is it good for you to know more? So unnecessary diagnostic imaging only wastes limited medical resources. Oh, wait a minute. Why do we do it? Oh, well, but it's also associated with poorer outcomes. So wait, it costs more money and more likely people are going to have bad outcomes. But yet we still do them. Anyways, not the point of this conversation, right? Previous studies have confirmed that imaging does not improve clinical outcomes for patients with low back pain. Cited multiple times, well known. Unfortunately, it's not always well known by the individual. So when we follow up with like, okay, so you go to your doctor, you have low back pain, and you can be a little disheartened sometimes if they don't do an image, MRI, X-ray. That's okay, because most likely there's not a lot of stuff going on. But while you're in pain, those are two different things, okay? And so this study, they looked at women over a course of multiple years, and they looked at changes of x-ray and disability. So, right, more arthritis or degeneration and how well they can do stuff in their life. We would expect off the top of our heads saying, okay, I have more changes, more arthritis, more disc degeneration, more of this stuff, okay? I would expect that I wouldn't be able to do as much, right? I would have a harder time doing stuff as I get older. Well, what they find, there was no significant evidence to support the association between lumbar segment changes and the x-ray, such as disc space narrowing, osteophytes, arthritis, blah, 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 and more severe back pain related disability. So images didn't really help us. Even when we look over time, even if they have more changes in those x-rays and that it just doesn't look like you're 20 years old anymore. Well, you're not 20, okay? So I wouldn't expect it to look like that. Okay, so disc degeneration. So how do we cure it? Well, we move in, okay, so I have degenerative disc disease, and I'm gonna Google it. So what's the first thing that comes up? What is degenerative disc disease? It's spine health. Oh, okay, reputable, it seems, but written by a physician. Ooh, okay. And so simply put, degenerative disc disease refers to symptoms in the back, neck pain caused by wear and tear, absolutely. Some cases also causes weakness, numbness, and hot shooting pain. Well, No, maybe not, right? It's hard to have that association. But after some digging and some well-placed ads on how to cure my disability and disease, okay, despite what the name suggests, degenerative disc disease is not a disease, but a condition which is natural, age-related wear and tear on the disc that causes pain, instability, and other symptoms. Completely agree, except with that last part, right? We just read in that other article that it may or may not cause disability or inability to do things, right? So that doesn't make sense. So may or may not. Everybody is different. And so I often pull up some of these articles, anatomy pictures and reviewing x-rays and MRIs, and you'll see some of these terms on there, absolutely. But by no means is that a death sentence, or by no means does that say you're going to have pain or inability to pick up your grandkid or inability to go play a sport or inability to take out the garbage. Like, it doesn't say that stuff. It's about how you feel and about how you present. When I look at degenerative disc disease, disc degeneration, right? How do we cure that stuff? Well, you can't. You can't cure it, right? And the fact that it says it's a disease to make it seem like it's curable, it's actually not. We are not made to live forever. And so it's wear and tear. It's like buying a car and then giving you 100,000 mile tires, and you're 50,000 miles in, and they're saying, yeah, you're 50,000 miles in. Does the tire still work? Well, yes, of course, but it has signs of wear and tear. So what's that mean? Well, it means that you can pretty much do whatever you want, right? There's nothing saying that you probably don't need some range of motion or strengthening or mobility or a little bit of TLC, of course, right? You still have to get your oil change in your car, but it still works. So let's focus on what you can control, right? You can't control this stuff. You just can't, right? I wish you could. And if I had the cure to that, I would be so rich, I wouldn't know what to do. But I love talking this about patients, okay? Talking about this with patients. It changes their perspective, and that's really how you cure it. You've got to change your perspective. You've got to move away from, this will never get better, and this will lead me to being crooked and walking with a cane and looking down at my feet the rest of my life, to, okay, is this something I have? How do I manage it, right? How do I still feel good despite this stuff? Well, that's a different conversation, and that's a different topic here. So I hope you guys found this video useful. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and I love talking to patients about it. And can't wait to hear what conversations come from it. And if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for next videos, or anything that you want to see or go over, imaging, pictures, stuff, etc., I don't care. I love it. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, this is Dr. Derry. I'm a physical therapist and a board-certified orthopedic clinical specialist, and I love this. So take care, change your mindset, and don't worry about it. It will get better, but you may need some TLC. Keep moving, and have a good one.